Karen thought torching my paddle boat and calling the cops would scare me off the lake, but when the officers arrived and learned who really owned the entire shoreline, the HOA scheme went up in flames, just like my boat. The lakefront cabin has been in my family for generations. For me, it isn't just property, it's home. And nothing beat taking out my old paddle boat on a warm Saturday morning. But apparently, Karen and her HOA didn't like seeing me enjoying what they thought was their lake. One evening, I tied up my paddle boat at the dock like always. The next morning, I walked down with a cup of coffee, only to find it reduced to ashes. A few charred boards, melted plastic, and blackened water were all that remained. Karen was waiting for me on the dock, clipboard in hand, smirking. "Maybe next time you'll follow HOA rules. No boats without our permits." I clenched my jaw. "Karen, this is my dock. My family owns this lakefront. You don't control anything here." She laughed. "We'll see about that. The cops are on their way. You'll be arrested for violating HOA ordinances." Minutes later, a sheriff's cruiser pulled up. Karen rushed to them, pointing at me. "That's him! He built an illegal dock, had an unregistered boat, and damaged HOA property." The deputy turned to me. "Sir, do you have proof of ownership?" Without saying a word, I pulled out a folder from my bag. Inside, the deed, county maps, and easement rights, all showing that my family owns the entire stretch of lakefront property, every inch of shoreline. The deputy's eyebrows shot up. He looked at Karen, then back at me. "Sir, you're the legal owner here. The HOA has no authority." Karen's smug face went pale. "That can't be true," she stammered. But the deputy cut her off. "Actually, ma'am, it is. And since you admitted destroying his boat, you're looking at charges for arson and property destruction." Her jaw dropped. Neighbors who had gathered gasped and whispered, realizing their HOA president had just incriminated herself in broad daylight. Karen tried to backpedal. I was enforcing HOA rules." The deputy shook his head. "You can't enforce rules on property that doesn't belong to you. You'll need to come with us." Watching her get escorted away in handcuffs was more satisfying than any boat ride. And as I stood there, the sun rising over the lake, I realized Karen hadn't just burned my paddle boat. She'd burned her own credibility, her HOA, and her freedom. Because while she thought she controlled the lake, the truth was simple.